In addition to the glow up that you saw on your homepage, we also have the glow up that has been added to your editor. From the editor, you're going to be able to see some differences from what you see in our pages that you're going to be reviewing for the design. So on the left-hand side, you see the previous look and feel. On the right, you're going to see what you see in this demo today. So right off the bat, I just want to point out some major differences. On the left, you can see you have an entire menu of resources from your design editor. Versus on the right-hand side, those items are hidden and they're also a different color now. The reason why we've gone with the right now is to give you way more space to be able to let your designs just be the star of the show, giving you more space to see how everything looks before you finalize your designs. But having said that, I'm definitely a fan of being able to have all my tools easily available so I can drag and drop items. So I'm going to show you a quick shortcut on how to pin those down so that you can leverage those tools. So let's jump out. I'm going to go over to our home page. I'm going to come off of my home page. I'm just going to scroll down. I have some recent designs that I've created, and I'm going to select this particular presentation so that we can have something to edit and add to. And that's going to take us now over to our presentation. So once again, you're seeing exactly what I just showed you in that slide earlier, where I've got all of my tools on the left-hand side, but all of the features and tools you can leverage are missing. We just see the editor. In the editor, you've got design, elements, text, brand, uploads. You can draw. You've got apps in here, all kinds of cool things. So let's dive in. Let's start with the design. You can see here some items pop out where you can make adjustments to your design. You've got elements where you're going to find all of your shapes, your graphics, videos, audio. You've got text where you can either create your own text art or just use straight up text to create text boxes. You can also upload your own content. We briefly talked about that in another video where you're able to bring in your own images, video, audio clips, and you can even record yourself. If you're wanting to annotate over your designs, you can go to the draw icon to be able to draw on top and annotate, maybe add some notes, circle some items to draw some attention to some things and so forth. And then lastly on the list, I just want to point out apps. These are Canva and third-party apps that you're going to be able to leverage to do even more with your designs, but more on that later. All right, so earlier I mentioned that when you now come into a design, that those elements that you have on the left-hand side are not fixed onto the screen because we want to be able to see our, in this case, this slide here in all of its full glory, right? So to add more to it, we need to pin this down so that we have continued access to it. To pin it down, because if you just hover and move your mouse away, it disappears. To pin it down, you have to just simply click. Once you click, you get all of your elements here, and you can move between them, and it'll stay there from now on. And you notice that in this case, this page, it just shifted over to the right-hand side so that we can now add things to it directly from our elements here. So that was one thing that changed. The other thing that changed, if you select an item, so for example, here I've selected this photo, you'll notice that up above it, we now have this menu, like a control panel that will disappear when you unselect an item. So now I don't have anything selected. You notice that that went away. So to get that back, you have to select an item. And in this case, if it's a photo, it has very specific features I can leverage and use because it's a photo. If I select text, those items change up at the top because I've selected text. So now I've got some menu options that I can apply to my text. Let me go ahead and show you. I'm going to come back to my photo here. Whenever you decide to leverage any of these that have additional features built into it, like the edit button, you'll notice those will pop up over on the right-hand side, which again is something new. Now it expanded that window, giving us access to be able to see all of the different things that we can do to our image. Really nice because I can see them all here a lot easier than in just the menu that appears up here at the top. You can always click these two little arrows that say see all to be able to open up that menu as well. All right, I'm going to close that out. And then once again, I'm going to close this over here on the left-hand side to close that out completely. One other thing that changed that is a feature that is available to you up here at the very top. You'll notice there is a toggle menu at the very top where you now are able to change the how it is that you're interacting with this design. So in this case, we've got editing, commenting, viewing. For this particular design, this is a social media graphic. Let me jump over to the presentation that I was showing you earlier, and I'm going to jump over onto this again. You can see those items right up here as well. If we were in a document, so if we were to go to a doc, this is a different doc type that you are able to create documents within Canva. You'll notice that one of the options here is called suggesting. So in documents, you have one additional drop-down menu option that you can leverage, and that's called suggesting. So if you want to just provide feedback to a colleague, maybe a colleague had shared a document with you and you're providing feedback, but you don't want to just change the text, you can toggle over to suggesting mode, and that'll allow you to suggest feedback to that person instead of just deleting and rewriting. All right, let's go back really quick here to our design. And last thing here at the very bottom, depending on what you are in, you're going to see some options down at the bottom left, and then also down at the bottom right, allowing you to zoom in and out of your images. If this had multiple pages, you can put this into grid view. These are your quick actions, allowing you to get to some additional features. Lastly, up at the top right-hand side, a couple of quick things here. If you want to rename this, because currently it says copy of, so I can come in here and change that. I'm just going to call this demo so I know which one I was in. So now I've renamed that item. Over on the share button on the right-hand side, you'll notice that when you create a copy of a template, or when you first create a brand new, whether it's a document or in this case, a social media, it will be only where you have access. So right now, nobody else can get to this, even though I'm sitting within our UCLA faculty and staff. Only you have access until you change that setting. So you'll find all of those features here, so that you can make choices on how you're going to share. Now, you don't have to do that. You don't have to share it with everyone that's within your team. You can select anyone with a link if perhaps you're trying to post this out more publicly for others to be able to see. You can do anyone with the link. You can also, let's switch it back to only you can access. You can also, above that, add people individually. So let's say you're collaborating with a colleague, and yes, maybe they are within the same team, the staff and faculty at UCLA, but you're not trying to share it with everyone. Instead, you just want to start typing in, for example, I'm going to add Bella's account here. And again, you can toggle between edit, comment, view, so that Bella has access to this document. Again, the send notification, that's so that they receive an email. They're also going to see in the home page, in that little icon, that's the little bell, it's going to share there a little number so that they can see, oh yeah, I've got something someone shared with me. Let me take a look. And then underneath that, you can certainly add a message. And then I can share that. And when I share this with Bella, Bella is going to receive an email that is going to have that content where she'll be able to come in and provide edits. Now, I just want feedback from others. I can give them comment rights and then share that with them. And again, they're going to receive that email. But with comment rights, what people can actually come in here and do is leave me comments. You're going to see that there are little comment icons available, where in this case, I selected the photo, and let's say I was now Bella, and Bella is saying, I recommend using a different image here. Right. And that's the feedback that Bella gives me. And you can see Bella in here. Thank you, Bella, for jumping in. So now Bella is in this document where Bella is going over and adding some feedback to this particular design. You can select any of the other items in here and also leave comments. Anytime you select an element, whether it's text or images, you'll see the little pop-up right in here where you have that little comment icon, allowing you to select it and leave that comment. All right, so Bella jumped into our design. We can see that because we see her here in the document. That is how you'll know. Bella has left us a comment. So we're going to go over to our comments here on the right. And you can see here, Bella says, sounds good, will do now. So that's the feedback they've provided. At any point, once you're done, you can, of course, respond to Bella. So we're going to say thanks. you can also, once you're done and you're like, all right, this is good to go, you can click the check to resolve that comment, and it's going to remove it from here from the right-hand side. And it'll also remove it from this area over here. You can see there's a little bubble right in here. It'll resolve that as well. So let's click the resolve check marks. And that's going to clear that out. And I can X out of this to get rid of that. And now the comments are resolved. So this is a really great feature to work collaboratively. I can always go back in and open up that menu and then be able to see any that are either just for me or any items that we've resolved. Maybe I want to go back to an item. You can always go back to those. They haven't been deleted. They were simply just resolved. So you can always pull those back open. All right. Another quick thing I'm going to show you while we're here, I'm going to go back into share. So we just talked about giving people comment rights. I'm going to jump back out here and I'm going to show you that you've got some additional options. You can certainly download, because if you're going to post this on Facebook, this is a Facebook graphic. And so we want to add this to a Facebook page. Maybe we're promoting, like I said, an event that we're hosting for our department. So I want to download this item. And when you click on download, you've got some different options here. PNG is suggested for social media, so we could download that PNG, but you have some other options as well that you could pick from. And depending on the design, we happen to be on a social media graphic, so obviously a PNG or JPEG works best. But if we were in a presentation that was 10 pages long, you certainly could select MP4 video, so it plays kind of like a video, and if you have transitions, those will play for you. So definitely take a look at that menu. Don't just go with suggested, because you never know, you might need something different. It sizes your items. It's already sized correctly, so you don't have to worry about adjusting that here. And then you just click download and you're ready to go. Let me back out. You can share directly onto social from here. So for those of you who are managing those social media accounts, you can connect those to your Canva account so that they get shared directly out. And you can certainly print your items. And there's even more to explore down here as different ways to share your content with whoever it is that is your user. So lots of options to pick from. Also sending that item to Box. So if you're using Box, you can send it directly to Box. You can also send it into your Microsoft OneDrive. All right, last couple of things here. File on the left-hand side. From here, you can move an item to a folder. You can make a copy of that item. You'll notice you have version history, allowing you to be able to come back to those items and maybe recover some content if you needed to, and a few extra things on here. But those are definitely some highlights in there of things that you can do with your design. And in case you were wondering, all of your designs auto save.